Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It is Barn Burner here on your Wednesday, the something September of 20th of September, I think is what it ends up being. Good to have you along. There's Retro. We are here in the Tower Chrysler studios. Tower Chrysler continues to be. And you know what? Time keeps passing. These other dealerships, they've got an opportunity to knock them down a peg. But yet still, as we sit here today, Calgary's favorite Chrysler Dodge Ram dealer. You'd think somebody would be hearing this and be like, we got to step up our game, man. This guy's a Tower. They're the favorite? Well, what do we got to do? It's the secret sauce over at Tower. They got it figured out. Consumer Choice Award winner. To be the man, you got to beat the man. That's what I always say. 10901 McLeod Trail South online, towerchrysler.com.
That's your take on things?
Yep. That's how I say it. That's what gets me out of bed every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what gets me going. How we doing, Retro?
I'm looking. Somebody just sent me. They're putting out an old Easton, the old classic Easton Synergy stick.
Did you see it?
Yeah. I'm like, well,
they look awesome. Hey,
look at this.
Yeah. Which brand is doing it? Is it CCM or because somebody owns the Easton brand?
And then Bauer Easton Synergy.
Yeah. I remember, well, we all do. Remember when that silver Synergy came out?
Gretzky.
That was the first Easton with the silver, and then the Synergies came out. I remember, I think like Iggy was one of the first guys with one. It's like, whoa, that is awesome. And then they were orange. And Marty St. Louis, don't want to bring him up, but he had the yellow one. I think Phaneuf went with the green ones. Didn't Phaneuf always have
Phaneuf had green.
The green, that was his thing for a while.
Those were the ones, you had to put the blades in and stuff, I think, right?
No, those were the one piece. The Gretzky ones, those were the foomp, where if you didn't have enough fucking glue on it, you'd take a shot and it would end up. A buddy of mine, Kevin, we were playing a game one night, and he takes them. We had gone out and bought these friggin' sticks. We were so excited. And first shot, big wires of slap shot. Foom. You could hear the noise like all throughout the rink. Helicopters, and then the blade gets stuck in the netting. It's like, oh shit. Now I got a stick that's no good for anything. And the $20 or $30 blade that I had to buy as well is stuck in the netting. Shit. Night's over. But yeah, the Bauer bringing back those. Now, guys our age will know and probably care. Younger people won't give a shit, though, right? You're like, oh,
no, it's nostalgic for me, so we think it's cool. Younger kids will think it's cool because it's new and kind of
maybe.
And if you market it correctly, they're going to think it's cool. So
yeah. I've not checked, Jack. I haven't checked the comments because if you're listening to this in podcast form and you're not listening live, it will mean nothing to you. But we are a late start today. Now, we told you yesterday we were going to be a late start. We're significantly later than we thought we were going to be. Are people okay, or is it a lot of?
I kept them entertained. I was in the chat.
Oh, did you?
We're talking some CFL.
Steelers.
Got in some Steelers talk. No, they're entertained. They understood. They knew what was going on.
Well, don't mind sharing. Retro and I, prior to this show, we had and over the course of the summer, we rolled out quite a few of them, and the reaction was very good for them. We had a conversation with Jamie McLennan, former Flames coach and goalie, now part of the TSN crew on TV. He obviously does Overdrive, the afternoon show with O-Dog and Brian Hayes in Toronto. So I knew it would happen. And you know what, Retro? I kept looking at the clock. We truly, near the end of the interview, his friggin' AirPods ran out of juice. And I was thinking about that partway through. I'm like, God, how long can you go on wireless headphones? Because you and I aren't using wireless. It's like, God. And then the audio
tested them.
The audio started to get a little dodgy, and then boom, boom. You can hear it beeping. Anyway, so yeah, we ran Noodles out of juice on his AirPods. 2 hours, north of 2. And you know what? We didn't really talk about playing in Florida with Luongo.
We didn't talk into a lot. We
didn't talk about his KHL like he had said near the end of the interview. It's the gong show that is the KHL. He was there, but that's the kind of guy he is. And I guess, you know what? For anybody that plays that long, in the NHL. Like you're going to have a lot of stories. You're going to have great stories, but some guys they won't remember them. They won't remember the context, and then they certainly won't be able to lay them out like he does.
And the details of it all. Like he has all the details that go along with the story, right? I can remember, Franzen in Detroit. Yeah, okay. But he's got all the details that led up to it and what was going on. He's a pretty good storyteller.
Yeah, it's a great. I'm always happy to have those chats. I knew that would be a good one. I just wanted to kind of do it some sort of justice and not have it go on too long where he gets bored. But when I was doing the prep for it, he calls himself the Forrest Gump of the NHL, where he just happened to be around at some interesting and significant points, and he talks about being right beside Eric Lindros the day of his draft when he says, no, I'm not going to Quebec. Like Noodles is right there. Mark Messier's final game in the National Hockey League as a member of the New York Rangers, Noodles is there for that. Jaromir Jagr is on that Rangers team, and he's there for that. Just so many great things. And we got into a lot of it. There's always stuff that you miss, but we're going to roll them out. It'll be over 2 parts because it is over 2 hours. Part 1 tomorrow and part 2 the day after. So tomorrow would be a Thursday. Again, I'm still getting the hang of this podcast thing, because if you're listening to this in December, it doesn't really mean much to you, but we'll be rolling it out over in 2 parts over the next 2 days. So the next 2 shows that'll come out, we will have some updates for you, and then some noodles. Didn't even ask him about the noodles.
I don't think there's much to that.
I don't think there is either. I think it's just, so he liked to eat noodles.
He was
younger.
Ultra picky eater. Ultra picky. Like to the point where guys got annoyed because you loved having him along, but you could only go to certain places and have certain meals.
Yeah. Hockey is full of, I guess it's like anything. Because in a lot of ways, I've found that broadcasting was that way. You find some unique friggin' characters. Mm-hmm. When I got out of college and went to I was taking my practicum or whatever you want to call it. And much like hockey. Well, you might be in the right place at the right time because a guy that had a job just got fired. So if this goes well, this PTO that you're on, there might be a job open for you. And this guy that had been fired, they literally fired him because he was too weird. He didn't do anything. There was nothing specifically that cost him the job, but he had gotten tattoos and his arms were wrapped up in like cellophane or cling wrap or whatever. And they were pussy and stuff. And people were like, oh, this is friggin' gross. What is with this guy? And he's got his tattoo. He was sleeping in his car outside the radio station. Finally, they just said, basically, you creep everyone out. We have to let you go. And it was literally days before I showed up. And it's like, well, just don't have pus coming out of your orifices and don't live in your car. Be somewhat normal, and maybe you'll be an upgrade on the old guy.
You're an upgrade.
So
instantly.
Yeah. So that's but so many, God, just unique characters that you run into over the course of time. And you've got great stories and he's got great ones. And to hear you guys kind of sticky fingers Roman Hammerlick. You've talked about it before. We've talked to a number of guys. Where's the underarm deodorant? Where's the toothpaste? Well, Hammerlick's got them.
He took it all.
Hammerlick took all of them. What the hell is going on? Now, did Hammerlick have a problem, or was it just kind of something that he was in on the joke?
I think he took care of a lot of his buddies back home, and this was just an easy way of doing it. Like he was actually, it was not a evil or a problem. I think that he's like, oh, I send my buddies crap all the time, so that's what he did.
Maybe his heart was in the right place.
Maybe.
I would love Noodles as a coach here. Him and Savvy could have a 2-man comedy show. Maybe.
It didn't sound to me like he was anxious to get back coaching.
Yeah, he talks about it a little bit. Opportunities are there off and on, but, and I think you've kind of talked about it in a way, as much as I'm sure you would like to get into coaching. The way coaching works is it's so time consuming, so pressure packed and stress filled and anxiety filled, to the point that if you don't portray that, if you don't put in that amount of time and make it seem and be that invested and upset at losses, and just, it's almost like you're not doing it justice, like you aren't taking it seriously. God, it's not, it should be a very enjoyable job, but it's so pressure packed and there's so much expected out of you. I think it's hard for some guys to get enjoyment out of it. Noodles is one of those guys. I think it's kind of like you. If you're not enjoying it, what the hell are you doing it for?
Yeah, no, he's not gonna. He did it too, so I mean, at least he got that on his resume, so he knows kind of what it takes. He spoke to that as well, but
yeah,
different lifestyle. You see guys even here. Matt Ellis' kids on our team, and he helps out before the Sabres get going. But once the Sabres stuff starts, see ya. Like, pod committed, and you got to be.
You got to be. Yeah, you do. Because if you're not, you don't last.
No.
And you feel like you're leaving your other coaches, your teammates, if you will, you're leaving them hanging because they're at the rink all the time. I don't know how you do it when you got kids. We've talked about it a lot. I don't know how, because you have to miss a lot of milestone moments and special moments in your family life to be all in for a coaching job. And a lot of guys do it, and maybe marriages or whatever go sideways, but
well, that shit can happen anyway. That shit could happen anyway, but I think probably like a lot of stuff, if you've stepped away from it and don't just continue on after your hockey career, it becomes harder and harder to make that leap back in.
We'll cut it up. Well, and when I say me, somebody will cut it up and have it there for you. I didn't realize that because he talks about when Kiprasov came in and the injury that he was dealing with. I knew it was a sternum. I didn't realize that he played for as long as he did.
Oh, yeah.
With a broken sternum. Like when you reach out to make a glove save, your chest is splitting open.
And again, I think there's there would be varying degrees of it.
Yeah.
But I think once it's even a little bit injured, all of it.
Yeah, and that's probably not the way to let it heal. Is to continue to be an NHL goaltender, making glove save after glove save. And you've talked about this over the years too. That scenario, and of course, it leads to Kiprasov coming in, or at least that was all kind of part of that. And we know what Kiprasov meant to the franchise and what the team did and all of that. But you have talked about how the team rallied around that guy. He was not going to bitch and complain, but you could tell the pain he was in or what he was going through to continue to get into that net to try and help the team. And then what it meant to you guys and how you tried to come and rally around him.
Well, he puts so much. I mean, his career was made on that, where he puts everything back into the team. I mean, how many times in that interview, kind of spilling the beans, does he talk about, well, I didn't want to let the team down, or the team needed this, or I wasn't there. And that, like, he was so team oriented. I remember my first skate ever in Calgary. He's like, hey, we're going for dinner here tonight. He knew the value of that, of having a good group of guys and having that group on the same page. And he put so much into it that when he was battling for his career, really, with an injury like that, with a bunch of guys that adored him, you did want to do well for him.
And there's a number of places where there would have been off ramps where it's over. I thought I had a shot. I'm back in the minors, or I'm in the East Coast or whatever. I guess I'm done. But you continue to kind of fight and scratch and claw. Because like I said, when I was going through it, we all know Jamie McLennan. He did not spend long stretches of time in the National Hockey League for any given time or with one team. The most was that St. Louis Blues team that he was with. It was about a 2.5 year period where he was a full-time NHL backup. Outside of that, it was up and down and around and over.
A lot of curveballs, and again, he had a book, interesting book, a lot of great stories. But you look back at his career, it's like, okay, well, he's going to be good, and then, well, maybe he can't cut it. Now, oh, look at that, he's playing. Well, maybe he can't do it. Like it goes all over the place.
The name of his book, The Best Seat in the House, with Ian Mendes. Of course, Ian Mendes, formerly of Sportsnet, he is with The Athletic now. I went to look for it last night. I think you can buy it on Amazon or whatever, but there was some website you could buy it used for $4. So
great deal.
Has not won an award, and there were no reviews. But I'll give it a review. I think it's very good. The Best Seat in the House. Jamie McLennan with Ian Mendes. If it's like it's $20 new, worth the $20.
Well, I don't know how they would do it anymore, but I also know the guy. All that money from that book went to a charity,
right?
And his buddy was from Calgary, and he was doing a marathon race and had a heart issue and didn't make it. Young, 36, young kids. Yeah. It was tragic at the time. So so all that money went to the family from his book. Now, I'm making light of a serious thing, but I'm not sure how many millions of copies were sold. So.
No, I'm not sure. But his
light read, fun read, if you like those sort of stories, right?
His heart, right behind his broken chest, was in the right place for sure. We'll get to the Pinder report in a moment. More another story coming out of Buffalo, Rhett, which probably won't surprise you. It's very Buffalo.
What did my kid do now?
Maybe it is your kid. I can't confirm or deny. We'll do some Betway bets. Now, what do you got going on? Because where are you going tomorrow?
You got to go to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Oh. Wow.
Like the town, big hockey tournament going on, which means they have to use all the rinks, which makes going to Pittsburgh this much fun.
I was going to say, didn't last year your hotel in proximity to the rink was, you may as well have just stayed in Buffalo and drove?
Yes. It's Pittsburgh's a pain in the ass to get around. Hills and windy roads, and you can't go anywhere fast. It's just brutal.
It's beautiful, though.
It
really is.
It is a very nice city. Steelers suck. But great city. Just don't have to drive around, do different rinks. Like Friday morning, we got a 8 a.m. game. We'll have to be up at 6 because it's a 45-minute drive from our hotel. Why are we staying here? They're like, well, it's kind of central to everything. Oh, boy.
That doesn't feel central.
No.
What if it wasn't central?
Yeah, exactly. I actually looked for a hotel. This hotel is so out there that there's no, you can't even. I was going to get a different hotel and stay overnight there to save an hour or two of sleep, but there's nothing out there.
Oh, so that's what we're going to do. We'll get the Noodles stuff out for you Thursday, Friday. Pinder is, of course, in Europe doing whatever it is he's doing, just being Pinder.
Just there.
And I didn't think about it because he came on yesterday. What's going on with my exposure? The camera's doing funny things. He's flying back on Sunday and returning to the show Monday. So he will be sick by Wednesday.
He'll be there. Yeah, then he'll risk getting everyone in the room sick because for sure it's a
he'll be groggy, tired, and I haven't seen anything. I didn't see any football or anything, but I'm here. Well, great. You may as well not be here because he'll be tired and useless.
And actually, you're right. We have brought this up with them. Don't just showing up and being useless is almost worse. Like just
either fly back on Saturday and have a day to recover, or just don't show up.
Start Tuesday. What? Who cares?
He'll be sick.
Yes, take your week of rest. But maybe he wouldn't be sick if he stayed home and rest.
Just have to go. I've got a doctor's appointment after the show. I need to go. And so looking forward to that coming up. Coming up next week.
Pinder being Pinder.
Jack, are we bang on about Pittsburgh? It's hard to get around, but it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, pretty much. When we go, we're usually just right by Heinz Field, so I haven't really driven around much, but I do enjoy the ride from the airport into the city. It is beautiful.
That is a very cool ride.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hills and rolling hills and that, and then you come through the bridge or the and then there's the city. It's very nice for a town that you would think. I mean, it's just think of Pittsburgh. It's kind of like it's a shit town. I think it's all right. Which do you prefer, Retro? Philly or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
I like Philly.
Philly's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much history. You can go run the Rocky Stairs, the Liberty
Not really
Bell.
History. That's fake history.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Isn't that where like that was a big deal? Philadelphia was
no. Philly's really not that historic.
Is it not?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Rough. Really rough.
Yeah, rough town.
Great sports complexes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think when the last time I was in the rink. It's got some miles on it. Because you played in the Spectrum right at the end.
96 was the last game in the Spectrum.
06
for NHL game.
Yeah. So you think of, you start to think about that. The Wells Fargo, whatever it's been over the years. Been around for a while now. It's no Saddle Dome, but
well, that's just it. You hear the Philly rink, you're like, that's pretty new. Well, it's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, it's like 30 years old.
How old is the dome?
Yeah, I know. Apparently, they've done some renovations to the locker room, training room, weight room. I know Ryan Huska was talking about that the other day. Some of it will be completed upon because they've got play one home game and then they're gone on their road trip. During that early season road trip, there'll be a bunch of work done construction wise in the room, but they're really sprucing things up in there.
Okay. Can't wait to see it.
You don't sound convinced.
The foundation and all that stuff. I feel like this is a limiting factor in what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
I'm no architect or engineer.
No.
Or remodeler.
Feel like maybe it could be.
I'm not a renovator.
No, hey. Let's do the Pinder Reporter presentation of Village Honda Northwest Automall online, villagehonda.com. New in-stock inventory arriving daily. Like daily. You're going to see one of those big car hauler things. Backing in there. Just pilots and Accords and just firing them off. New every single day. New vehicle pricing, MSRP. It's your dealership for life. Village Honda. Flames training camp. Fitness testing today. So exciting. For a long time, Jerome McGinley, the most fit Calgary Flame. Then Mark Giordano took over, and I believe back-to-back years for Dylan Dubé. I believe he has been the most fit, or at least has been deemed the most fit. I don't know is it a cumulative thing? Do you tabulate all the results and put it together?
You got to have all the sit and reach is just as important as
I don't know that it is. You have, for years, have talked about how important the sit and reach is because of you and your
nimble. You can do too much weights and you get tight and you get injured.
Your jungle arms allow you to be very good in this.
Never lost that event. Never, ever, once.
I remember it was the last time any kind of sit and reach. I remember in elementary school, and you would sit, they'd have like a box or something, and then a meter stick, and you'd have to like push one of those, like the chalk erasers. Okay, push. Okay,
you would be terrible at it.
Oh, so bad. Stubby legs, short arms, and tight. And then you try and cheat and give it the old little push at the end.
Yeah.
No pushing. No, just get as far as you can and then fingers back. You pushed it. I wasn't very good at any of those things. I remember the, pull-ups. Nope. Even just and then you'd have to, so you do the pull, how many pull-ups can you do? And then there'd be the one, so get up to about here and then hold yourself on the bar, the hang. No good. And then there was even the just hang.
Oh.
It's very hard on my shoulders.
I can't even get them up there.
Ow. Dunk. Long distance running, short distance running, flexibility, vertical jump, long jump, triple. Nope. Shot put. No.
Javelin.
No. We didn't have, we were too small. We wouldn't have had javelins or anything. I think
you'd have been good at the discus. Get zipping around.
That I feel like that takes a lot of coordination.
Oh, you got it.
You got to be able to have those. You do the twinkle toes as you're spinning around.
I don't get how you're shitty at all these things, yet you're so good at volleyball.
We were a good volleyball school.
Don't throw. But you've bragged about your personal abilities. It's just because the school's good doesn't mean that you're part of it.
Decent bumper. Yeah. Hey, come on. 3 hits, guys. 3 hits. No, don't. 3 hits. Free ball. Free. I'll show you someday.
Can't wait.
Or maybe not. Jack, are you getting any good at volleyball? What's your sport, Jack?
No volleyball. I'm currently distracted by the Wolverine and Tyler here. So if I'm not talking,
are they in office?
Yeah, they're both here. They're moving shit around.
See, the last time your Chuck was in our studio was about a year ago, and the Oilers Nation guys came in and started drinking our beer and moving all of our shit around, and then they didn't put anything back. So then when we came back in to do the show, there was microphones over here. All the cables were disconnected and left. We had to put all the tables back. At least make sure they have the decency and the respect to put things back the way that they found them.
Keep an eye on them, Jack. They steal shit.
Yeah, I'll keep close tabs.
Here, Chuck, bastard. Pinder report. Yeah, so the training camp with fitness testing. Of course, the rookies wrapped their thing in Penticton on Monday. Came home. They beat the Jets by a score of 4-2. Preseason opens with a pair of games at home. Sunday, Vancouver. Monday, Seattle. All in all, starting on with that game on Sunday, they're going to play 4 games in 6 nights and then Saturday, Sunday off. So you're going to want some guys around when you're playing 4 and 6. And then
I feel like you want guys around to give them a chance to prove that they can maybe contribute when you need them to.
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think that you're going to analyze and assess their abilities while these games are on. But
because if they just wanted bodies, you and I might be able to go out there.
Well, I am pretty athletic. Get Conroy. Jack, can you call Conroy? See if they've got any spots. Spots for walk-ons? Did they do walk-ons? Wouldn't that be great? We could do like a documentary and follow one guy. Maybe you find out in spring.
They had that.
You're going to be...
Remember it was
Mike, wasn't Keenan part of that?
Was involved, the kind of a diamond in the rough thing. TV show.
I remember. Yeah, I don't remember because it was a great idea until you realized, no, these are world-class athletes. The NHL, it's the best league in the world.
It would be better served now, I think, than it was because it's about skill. The game's about skill, and back then it was kind of were you tough enough to play?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So were you running a fighting school or were you looking for goal scoring? And if you got guys that signed up that wanted to play one way but couldn't play another. So anyway, I think today's world, it wouldn't be so bad.
I was told there's this guy that he's on social media and he's really shifty and good with the puck. He'll do all kinds of, the lift it and this and that. And it's like, Jesus, this guy. Good skater. Look how good he is. His hands are amazing. Guess guy can't play worth a friggin' lick, because then you put, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 other guys on the ice. Oh, it's a different game, is it? You're not just allowed to just wheel in all by yourself with nobody pressuring you and just dipsy doodle? I don't know. If you're like scouts are out there looking for hockey players, but maybe there's a late bloomer out there somewhere.
Guy that got injured,
Who would be a guy that you played with either in junior? Well, because, again, so good. You didn't really play in the minors. You didn't play in the minors. But anybody from junior or someone that you were aware of over the years, it's like, that guy, I can't believe he didn't make it, or maybe he got to the NHL and then didn't stick.
Bantam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Bantam played in the Saskatoon Blades. What did he have that year?
85.
Goals. Went to Anaheim, played for a little while, and then was done. Frank Bantam. We've talked about it. I mean, I've said it over and over again that Frank Bantam, Mark DL, and Clark Wilm were an unbelievable line for the Saskatoon Blades, and that Clark Wilm had the NHL career, and it's no disrespect, but that Clark Wilm had the career, I would have lost every cent I had if you were to put money down on it. Frank Bantam
DL might have had the career, but he lost an eye. So
yeah. 95-96 Saskatoon Blades. Mark DL in 69 games had 61 goals and 159 points. Frank Bantam, 72 games, 83 goals, 152 points. Clark Wilm, 72 games, 49 goals, 110 points. 83 goals. Now, granted, was he an overager? Maybe. I don't know that it matters. It's 83 goals is 83 goals. But yeah, he would have been one. Played 3 games, then 21 games, and then 3 games. Yeah, 32 all told NHL games, 9 goals, 11 points.
But 32 games and 9 goals is a good stat in that era.
Well, I was going to say, while you're talking about in this day and age, if Frank Bantam is 2021 now, coming in off of an 83 goal season in the Western Hockey League, 6'1", 187, size isn't as big a deal anymore. Does he do it now? I wonder.
He'd be awesome right now, but so would I.
You think you were built for?
Yes, speed, finesse. Yes, of course. Talking about skill.
Oh, to be young again, retro. Hey, to be young again. So yeah, cuts will come at some point, probably by the weekend, and they'll have junior age guys that you get them in for a game and then let them go back to junior guys that aren't going to.
Can you imagine if Huska runs the same camp that Big D did last year? Yeah, you guys aren't making it. You guys you're here.
Okay, guys, the rosters are up on the wall. Okay, so that's Rasmus Anderson, Huberdeau,
like
Kadri. Okay, that's basically the team. I'm over here. Oh, seems like that seems like it's really a bunch of the guys, like the team, and then this is a bunch of the guys that aren't and weren't and won't be on the team. So if
can do it.
Yeah, so group 1, you young guys, if you can get in early and leave early, and then group 2, you come in at a better hour, a better time, and we'll make sure all those other guys are gone by the time you get here.
I don't think
maybe mix it up, but
I don't think Huska's going to do that.
Daryl didn't. I don't care about mixing the young guys with the old guys. We're here to win this year. I want my NHL crew to start gelling as soon as possible. I don't want anything getting in the way of that. It's not the craziest thing, I guess.
It's not. No, you can understand what he was selling, but
yeah,
was talent out there that could have been considered and would have served you much better than you guys need to gel.
Yeah. Trevor Lewis needs to get into the room with the boys and start getting things figured out. So there you go. That's what's going on again. Sunday is the first of too many preseason games against Vancouver. Minor trade yet. Oh, God. I have my phone, it doesn't matter.
No,
don't worry about it. Every time my phone rings, my whole computer setup here just goes boop, boop, because it's all through the same.
It's interesting.
Freaking call. Why do people still talk on the phone? I don't know the last time I've talked on the phone. It was to you. You call every once in a while. That's about it. Everybody else.
I'm in my vehicle if I'm talking. Weren't you saying something?
Minor trade.
Oh, yes.
Montreal Canadiens pick up Tanner Pearson and a third-round pick from Vancouver for goalie Casey DeSmith. Now, remember, Casey DeSmith was a Pittsburgh Penguin. Then he went in this how did that work? In the three-way trade last month, he was part of that Erik Karlsson trade from San Jose to Pittsburgh, and they had to get Montreal involved to move money around and that sort of thing. So DeSmith will be the backup, it would seem, to Thatcher Demko in Vancouver, I guess. Tanner Pearson is still only 31. It feels like he has been around forever. He was on those cup-winning teams with the LA Kings. Feels like he should be 51, not 31. 11 seasons with the Kings, the Penguins, and Canucks, part of that Kings team. He was on the one team in 2014 that won. Captaincy, I know you love captaincy talk. Team's got to have a captain, Rhett. You need it. And if you don't, why don't you have one? Brayden Schenn has been named the 24th captain of the St. Louis Blues. 32 years old, his 7th season in St. Louis, 15th in the league. Good old Sasker. Won the Stanley Cup as a member of the Blues in 2019. And I believe, I've
has a brother.
He does. His name is Luke.
Cool hand.
Yeah. Chicago Blackhawks will not name a captain for the upcoming season. That, according to GM Kyle Davidson.
Don't want to give it to Bedard too soon, eh?
Blackhawks announced late last season that then captain Jonathan Toews would not return to the team. Want to let the captaincy, just let it breathe. Just let it breathe a little bit. Toews is a free agent. It's not going back to Chicago. We don't know what's going on with Toews. He, of course, had that kind of, what do they call it? Long haul COVID. It took him a long time to.
He had something. I don't know if it was COVID.
It may not have been that, but yeah, something. He was.
Yeah.
But he was a fine Chicago Blackhawk, so they're going to let that thing breathe. Seth Jones said, "I would love to be captain," and they said, "Okay, great. We'll take that under advisement. Thank you, Seth. We will not be naming a captain this year." Blue Jays get homers from George Springer, Bo Bichette, and Alejandro Kirk. Beat the Yankees 7-1. Make it 4 in a row for the Jays. 1 game up on Texas and Seattle for the second wild card. Texas winning over Boston 6-4. Seattle beat Oakland 7-2. I should be
paying more attention to this because there's been a lot of.
It has been, yeah. The Jays have won 8 of their last 10 against AL East opponents after starting the season 8-23. So they're right there, Retro. They got that second wild card. They're right there. They're not gonna move up. They may fall out, but it's Texas, Seattle, and the other day I forget what the number was, but Texas and Seattle are going to play each other a fair bit here over the last little bit. So if one team can just be really good, so that the other team falls out or find a way, and Jays win some games, as they've been doing, and you might be all right. Now, you say Kikuchi was in this ball game. Did you read this? Have you seen this?
No.
Left the game because of cramping. He had cramps. Now, I'm not sure you get cramps. It's whatever. It's nothing to laugh at or anything. He said that it may have been caused by only getting 11 hours of sleep on Monday night instead of his usual 13 or 14 hours. He said he usually goes to bed around 11 p.m. and wakes up at 1 p.m. And for whatever reason, didn't get his solid 13 or 14 in and had to get by with 11 hours.
I admire you for falling asleep. You're not so good at staying there, but 14 hours is world-class stuff.
It really is. I don't know how. We'd have to get a sleep doctor on.
Yeah, I'm questioning his math and his ability because 14 seems excessively good.
You're missing half of the day. That's over half of every day you are unconscious, which
is great.
Hey, I guess so. I'd love it. Christ, can anybody 2/3? Can I sleep for 2/3? Let's go. I'll sign up for whatever. I don't know if I have a hard time believing it. 13 or 14 hours, and you had to get by in 11. And
you poor bastard.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Might be something else up there. NFL, Kareem Hunt has signed a 1-year deal with the Cleveland Browns today.
Can you pick him up, or is he picked up in all
He's been picked. Jack, can you pick him up?
No, you can't.
Friggin' Jack. How did this go again?
I picked up a guy, and I heard Hunt was signing somewhere, so I dropped that guy to get Hunt, and then someone already had Hunt.
Right. Hunt was drafted.
Yeah.
Jack goes to the waiver wire. Ooh, I like this guy. Oh, what? Kareem Hunt? Well, I'll drop this guy. Go and get Hunt. Oh, damn it. Hunt is available. So you picked up the guy, and before you checked to see if Hunt was available, you just went and dropped that guy.
Yeah. And then I didn't bother picking him back up.
And then you didn't pick the other guy back up. Yeah. Very exciting. As far as Nick Chubb, I have not seen. I don't know. I don't know if anybody really needs it. Any official word on the extent of the injury? We all saw it. We know it. Don't need to see anymore. Saquon Barkley suffered an ankle injury on the weekend. Now, is it a high ankle sprain? Is it just a regular ankle sprain? What is it? Brian Daboll says he will not rule him out for the next game. Trouble is, that game is tomorrow against the 49ers, and dude hasn't practiced or stepped on the field at all. So it seems like a long shot that he is going to be in. That is your Thursday night football game, San Francisco and the New York Giants. And remember, Pinder had that. He loves the charts and graphs and stuff. He had one a couple weeks ago about teams that have scored points and teams that hadn't. And I think that was the Giants were kind of on that.
Yeah.
The same guy has gone back to work. He's put together another. Now it's a little hard to see here, but have you won a game since Elon Musk bought Twitter? And then the graph or the chart says, yes, of course, the sale was finalized back in October of 22. So there's a bunch of teams that have won a game since October, and it looks like the Bears have not won a game since October 22. So thank you, Jake Huda, for putting together.
Are they supposed to be better this year?
These elaborate. And you know what? Listen, I'm a casual fan. I like playing fantasy football. I like doing the betting stuff on the weekend. But a year ago, Justin Fields was awful. And then turned things around and became the best rushing quarterback in the game pretty well over the last, 5-6 weeks of the season, which led everybody to say, Bears are going to be great. They're going to be tremendous this year. Khalil Herbert. And as it turns out, teams have game planned maybe a little bit better against the rushing ability of Justin Fields, and he's not able to throw his way out of it yet. So it's kind of like Steeler fans that they were expecting things to be. Sorry, Jack. I didn't need to go there. Why did I go there? I didn't need to do that. Who would you rather have, Fields or Pickett?
Pickett.
Fields.
Pickett.
Of course you would. Attaboy, Jack. So yeah, that's the scoopage there, and that is the Pinder report. Huge selection at Village Honda of used vehicles if you're in the market. All makes, all models, all budgets. Over 70 units on site, access to over 400 more in their dealer group. Make Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination. They are worth the trip. Northwest Automall, your dealership for life, and online at villagehonda.com. We'll do some Betway bets. Oh, I was going to tell you about the, let me do that right now. It is September, but do you see how quickly September's gone? It's the 20th already. And then what happens? You get into October.
Winter.
and you got kids sports, or you're watching hockey or whatever. So, oh yeah, then Thanksgiving, yeah, and then November hits, and so you know. What I'm saying is, if you're going to be buying gifts for Christmas, and it seems crazy to be talking about it, but I know that we are stupid, and we procrastinate, and we put these things off, and we say, oh, I got lots of time for this. I have lots of time for this. And then you're like, damn it. Why did I put this off so long? Now I'm in a pickle. Vina Nova, Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialists. We have all gone to Vina Nova and gotten gifts for our significant others, and it's amazing. And we've said this over and over again, and I'll say it again. It's hard to buy gifts, especially now where if people want something, they'll just go on Amazon, or they just get stuff. I know for me, you look around, well, I was maybe going to get that for you. It was an idea I had. Now you've just bought it for yourself. This is the one thing that is a absolute home run and it's just the best gift. And you don't even need to pick it. You can just say, babe, we're going to Vina Nova. Lab-grown diamonds. Justin, we've set up. I'm sure you could do that too. We've set things up. We've got a little session. We're going to go. You pick out something nice for you. And the best part is, because they're lab-grown diamonds and not those stinky, dirty mine diamonds, a lot of times savings 75%, 80% for just the purest diamond that money can buy. Same chemical composition, same crystal structure as a earth mine diamond. And these gemologists, these geniuses, a lot of times they can't tell the difference. They'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Which one is it? Is that the lab grown? No, it's this one. I had no idea. It's how good they are. Sustainable, dazzling, one of a kind. And the other part is, if you maybe want to get something that is custom made, now is the time to reach out to Justin at Vina Nova to ensure that you get what you want, the way you want it, in time for Christmas. VinaNova.com, or check out their showroom on the second level of Stephen Avenue Place. They'd love to see you. Vina Nova. And we were, did you and I talk about this maybe yesterday? It's like, might need to do this again.
3 months. Just over 3 months.
This might be the way to go again, is find this. What'd you do last time? Earrings? Okay, well, maybe this time it's a ring or a necklace or a different kind of earring or whatever the case may be. The options are plentiful and they'll steer you the right way. I just took my wife down. I didn't know what to get because I was thinking earrings, and then she ended up going with something completely different. I tried to surprise her. Where are we going? Where are we going? I'm not going to tell you. We're going. And then we roll in there and she was like, what? And then she left me behind because I'm an idiot. She's like, this, okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Thanks.
So I'm trying to like, oh, so what do you like, babe? Let me just handle this. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so this here, what's this? It's perfect. They get exactly what they want, and then you're happy. You're happy because they're happy, and they're happy because you're an idiot, but figured out a way not to screw things up. I'm not sure this is exactly how Vina Nova's marketing department would want this laid out, but it's just being honest and true.
Clarity, giving people clarity.
A little clarity. Jack, did you have that video? Now, was this today at JFK, the airport?
It was a couple days ago.
A day or a couple days ago. Now, we know that Pinder is out of the country, and we know that he's been flying. He's going to, where is he? Istanbul or whatever it is. And then he goes to Copenhagen, and then he's in Sweden, and then he's in Italy. Maybe it's a coincidence that he is jetting around Europe, and this was spotted the other day, or maybe it just happens to be something different. But this is, let's take a look at this one.
Oh.
Do not record this. Do not record this.
Actually, I have phone in the
There's a naked guy in the airport. Yes, there is. My man.
There's a naked guy at the airport, dude. Looks. Yes, there is.
Do not record this. Do not record this.
There's a naked guy in the airport. Yes, there is. My man.
My man. I like that he acknowledged it. He's aware that he's naked in the airport. Yes, there is.
So good. Well, is it good? I don't know if it's good.
Okay. So
it's
what is the scenario that has led to this man walking through the airport with no clothes?
Wasn't there that movie about the guy that was stuck in the airport for years and years? He couldn't
was
go
it
in.
Tom Hanks or whatever?
Yeah.
Terminal?
One of those guys. He showered, he's going down, forgot his towel.
Yeah. He's like Cuba Gooding Jr. It's okay, I don't need a towel. I air dry. I'm just gonna go walk. I gotta get my steps in.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. My man. Good times. Now, I need to check my notes here. Was this also a naked person? I believe this is also, there's some nudity here, as this one, shockingly, Rhett from Buffalo.
Oh, this guy was.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
This is a from the Twitter account of News Radio 930 AM in Buffalo. Members of the, I think this is like what, the emergency, basically like the first responders or whatever, is discussing an incident on Sunday before the Bills home opener, in Orchard Park, where a 29-year-old male ended up jumping over the fence at the stadium construction site. It ended up in an excavated hole.
It's deep.
Okay. Well, that's a terrible. Here's the details. An unidentified football fan who was naked and, quote, covered in human excrement was discovered in a construction site hole near the Buffalo Bills home opener on Sunday. The extent of his injuries was a cut on his forehead, that according to News Radio. The fan was naked and covered in human excrement he had found in an on-site porta potty. As you can probably assume, he was under the influence of drugs, alcohol, and a combo of LSD, cocaine, and marijuana. That's too much.
Yeah, for a Sunday morning.
That's before the game. Covered in.
Don't be judging the people of Buffalo. 8 ejections from the game. The lowest since the new chief of police.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well,
very low number of people getting booted.
Well done.
One arrest.
Yeah. What if they were? What if they'd be losing that game?
Doesn't matter. It didn't happen. We got to play the what if game.
Once the rescue team arrived on scene, it took about 20 minutes to get the fan out of the hole, where he was treated for a short time before being transferred to Buffalo General. No mention of how long he had been trapped in the hole, although it says here the first call concerning the man came in at about 12:18 p.m. local time.
Had a hell of a Saturday night, Sunday morning. He was on a roll.
Help. It's quite a cocktail of the booze, the LSD, the cocaine, and the marijuana. Do you have all that at your disposal, or do you have to go out and get that?
Maybe this was the problem. He was looking for more.
Goodness gracious. And the way they make it sound. So he was in the hole, but it was not in the hole where he got the human excrement.
Well, I think that, the combination you just talked of
so he had found a porta potty on the construction site and then fell in the hole. Seems to be the chain of events there. It's unfortunate. I hope he's okay.
Maybe this is what he needed for a turning point.
This is the rock bottom. The rock bottom with human excrement. Big Bills fan. That's the thing about with everybody having camera phones and stuff. We sure do get access to a lot more of dumb people, you know? We don't sometimes we see, oh, isn't that nice? Look at this guy helping an old lady across the street or getting a cat out of the tree. Usually it's, guy's getting arrested and headbutted another fan at a football game.
Walking naked.
There's a man naked at the airport. Good heavens. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca is the website. There's always stuff going on at the casino. We've talked about the stage bar, and I'm sure as we get closer to the hockey season, we'll talk about the deals and everything that they've got going at the Grey Eagle. But in addition to that, I was looking this morning. They have, you got to be a winner. You want to be a winner. You got to have contests and stuff going on. The Hole-in-One Honolulu contest is on at the Grey Eagle. You could win 6 nights at the Four Seasons over in Honolulu. Direct flights.
I could use that.
Yep. Sure could. I have
Lanny. He's a hole-in-one king.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So go to the website, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca. You go to the casino link and they'll have the different the contests. Right now they got the one going on. You could win a brand new Corvette convertible, or you could win money in lieu of the convertible. You've got this trip to Hawaii. 6 nights at the Four Seasons.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I mean, the Four Seasons pretty good, right? It's
yeah.
You just trust. It's like, where are we staying? It's booked at the Four Seasons. Okay, good. That's fantastic.
You usually don't have to ask because that's
so good. And in Honolulu. Mela Kilikimaka is the thing to say. On a Hawaiian Christmas day. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca is the website. Good to have Grey Eagle on board. Barn burner. Do some Betway bets. Thursday night football coming up tomorrow. We talked about Brian Daboll. I don't think he's going to have Saquon Barkley. Matt Breida will be the guy. It sounds like will be the new bell cow back for the Giants. What do you make of the Giants? They got blown up in week 1 and then weren't playing particularly well in week 2, but then roared back in the second half and got a win.
I don't make much of the Giants. I'm not a fan of the Giants. They screwed the Bills over years ago, and I haven't liked them since. So
yeah. Jack, where are you on the Giants through 2 weeks? This is a tough. I mean, San Francisco. Everyone had high hopes for them coming in through 2 weeks. They have been impressive.
Yeah, they haven't looked very good. I'd say like a borderline playoff team to this point.
Do you like Danny Dimes?
I do like Danny Dimes. I think they need to get him some better receivers.
I thought, and it was just the reaction, and of course fans are negative, but the reaction when he was drafted by them, everyone hated that pick.
Yeah.
And he has been better than I thought. He's quite a good. I mean,
he can move.
You wouldn't think he's a guy that can move, but as far as rushing yards and getting around, he does pretty well. But there is not a lot there as far as receivers. San Francisco,
good squad. I
was looking at on the Betway app. We'll do the Betway bets. Some of the futures and look aheads. I think it was plus 300 for the 49ers to make the Super Bowl. Not even be a Super Bowl winner. I think it was plus 300, plus 350 or something. Check it out on the Betway app. You've got all kinds of future apps or future deals and that sort of thing. AFC, NFC, division winners, that sort of thing. It's fun. Why wouldn't you? A couple I've got for you, and they are kind of futures, but it's around the Giants and 49ers game. George Kittle, his over-under mark as it's, and there will be more of these that'll come out on the day of the game and as you get closer to it. So right now they have over-unders, but they have put in the specific rushing yard totals. Rushing for McCaffrey, receiving for Kittle. Week 1, Kittle, 6 yards on 3 catches. Last week, 3 catches for 30 yards. He is still dealing with a groin injury. Has been limited at practice. They've got his over-under at 43.5. I'm taking the under. Minus 120. Christian McCaffrey. Over-under 80.5. He ran for 152 in week 1, 116 in week 2. Now, how are the Giants against the run? James Conner went for 106 last week. McCaffrey is he's better than James Conner. I like the over here. Now, it's not huge payouts, but I like both of these. You get a little on the Kittle bet, you get a little on the McCaffrey, and you're smiling. Give me Christian McCaffrey, CMC over 80.5 rushing yards tomorrow on Thursday Night Football against the Giants, paying -115. And those are my Betway bets. Get the Betway app on your phone. I was looking at it this morning. We can, as we get closer to it, they've got all the, who's going to lead the NHL in scoring and who's going to have the most assists, who's going to be the Calder winner, who's going to all that sort of thing. So we can go through and see, because it's who's going to win the Calder. Connor Bedard not paying particularly well. Maybe you pick somebody else just because
Bedard could get hurt.
Maybe he gets hurt. Adam Fantilli.
Did the Sabres lose a guy the other day?
The Sabres? Yeah, they did. Somebody got hurt, right?
I think a high pick. Yeah, Savoy. Is that his name?
Yeah. Oh well, he'll be fine.
I'm sure
he'll be all right.
Clavicle.
So we might do some of that as we get close to it. Tomorrow on the show, part 1 of Jamie McLennan. Friday, part 2 of Jamie McLennan. I'm a big. Listen. I like Jamie, so I'll listen to him read the phone book. But I think you people are going to enjoy it. I really do.
One of the best storytellers maybe the game's ever had.
Maybe that the game
right up there anyway.
Had. Truth bomb, retro. Truth bomb. Enjoy Pittsburgh.
So excited.
You're really not.
I'm not.
No.
I
mean, so because now you're spending time with your kid. Is it just one kid going?
Mm-hmm.
What's the so will you go with another dad and his kid? Will you?
It's weird about the people here. Nobody travels together.
Really?
Throw it out today, actually, and say, anyone want to ride
now?
Together, seeing as we're going to be doing all the same crap.
Yeah, you're going to the same places and all that. Now, are other parents traveling together and just you're not traveling with anyone else? None of these parents, they don't carpool.
Wait. How come I'm not didn't get invited for the bus?
It wasn't that. Okay, fair enough. Well, safe travels to and back. We'll hook up with you next week. Pinder back next week. And I don't know. I might jump on the shows tomorrow on Thursday, just to kind of I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
With your do some cooking.
Yeah, I'll be in the kitchen. Just throw the camera on. We'll see how it goes. Support the sponsors. That's how we do this thing. Go and check out our sponsors. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, and be nice to people. Do something nice for somebody today. Have a good one, buddies. We'll see you. No? Be nice. Be good. Peace out.